Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so even though obviously this is still Battlegrounds beta and there are a ton of issues that have been brought up and definitely need addressing. There are stability issues, connection issues, possible scoring adjustment necessity. I think I'm not entirely over the moon with the way scoring works. I think at the moment time is a bit too important compared to HP remaining. I think they will need to tweak with that, in future, and we have tons of different feedback. But in this video in particular, we kind of have to talk about matchmaking, because I do believe that the current matchmaking is based on quite a rubbish set of rules. Because if I am not mistaken, I could be, but if I'm not mistaken, you can only match people who are within 50 points of you, or thereabouts 50 points. So 50 points above you or 50 points below you. And whilst, for most parts, somewhere in the middle bracket, it probably would suffice, I think it's just a far too crude and unrealistic rule set to work by. And we definitely need to improve the ability to matchmake. And I do understand that this is going to be a total and complete first world problem largely, but it is most felt at the top rankings. Somewhere in the middle brackets, you might have some issues, or somewhere in the middle rankings, but the higher to the top you go, the less people you can actually match. Somewhere, if you are at 1600 rankings, you probably have hundreds of people that would fit that 50-point rule. However, we can take a look at somebody who is right here in 22nd place, let's say Fenico. So he can match people with 1852 to 1952 rating. And for him, that would leave Beroman, Zurafa, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people above him. And then how many people below him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So in total, out of all of the players in the world, the guy who is in 22nd place right now can only match about 30, 35 people. And that's nowhere near enough. Because obviously the entire point of these Battlegrounds matches is to make them quick and snappy, and they are quick and snappy when you do find matches. However, the chances that at any given point when you would want to matchmake, there's going to be one of those 30 people also ready and willing to play are quite low. And if it does happen so that one of them is there, then you end up playing the same person over and over and over and over and over again. That has been my own personal experience, as well as I have been living relatively up on the leaderboards. And I effectively end up playing same 5, 6, 7 people the entire time. It's very, very rarely that, I get to play somebody new. It's when they kind of jump at the top of leaderboard brackets. In my case, I can only match virtually 5 people right now. I can only match virtually 5 people right now. So, if we take a look at my rating, it's 2016. And that means that somebody who I match needs to have at least 1966. So I can match Tengen. I can match this guy, whose name I can't pronounce. I can match Mafioso, Steeler, and Happy McMuffins. Spot number 7 is already kind of like out of that range. So I can virtually match only 5 people. And as a result of that, for the last several days, it has taken me hours to find a match. At one point, I think 2 days ago, I had one good stream where I found several matches. But I have started several streams where I try to match and end up getting one match in an hour, or no matches in half an hour, and then just end up doing something else. And that's at a time when I would hope, people are at the busiest, kind of like in the afternoons in UK. But in the mornings or in the midday of UK, I have spent 3 hours trying to find a single match. And again, I do understand that this is, more so a first world problem. However, it is also very indicative of like the top of the competition and very clear, obvious problems when there will be much bigger drive to compete for the top spots. Fact of the matter will be that people will simply be unable to do so until, let's say, another group of people catch up, overtake you, and because of not being able to find a match, you will have to end up losing your ground, losing your positioning, and then kind of try to rush back up if you can do so. So I think it's quite clear that the matchmaking criteria definitely need to be increased. I do agree that it should be based on your rating. 100%. I don't think anything else has anything to do with it. I think this rating is, the perfect number to base it on. However, I do think that it has to be a bit more similar with Alliance War, where the variance definitely has to be increased, and basically the game kind of should give itself a mission to find you a match within 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes. And the longer the matchmaking takes, the wider it starts to look for champions, for opponents that you should be able to play with. Let's say it's perfectly fine that it starts the initial search with 50 points above and below you, and then after a minute it extends it to 70 points or 75 points, and after 2 minutes it extends it to 85 points to 95 points, and naturally that should be reflected in the scoring, where if you match somebody that's significantly higher than you are, then you should be rewarded much more points if in case you win, and you should lose a lot less points if you do lose. But this is beta, and that's the purpose of it, to test for potential issues and to give us our feedback back to Kabam. And I'm not trying to harp too hard on it that they have completely, ruined it for me. But the fact of the matter is, in last 3 days, no matter how much I have tried, I have only managed to get in like maybe 10 matches, maybe 12 matches in like last 3 full days. And that kind of definitely took me back from this game mode in general, just because I'm unable to play it. And it sucks. And that is definitely my feedback, that matchmaking definitely needs some sort of smarter algorithm, and obviously with reflection in the scoring system and everything else. But the entire point of Battlegrounds is these 8-10 minute intervals when you can go in and get a match done and enjoy yourself. But if you need to queue for 3 hours to find an 8-minute match, then it absolutely loses its point and purpose. So that is my feedback. Let me know what you guys think about the way matchmaking is set right now. And that being said, I'm gonna catch you later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the